So I know how disappointing it can be when you really want something and you set an intention for it and then you sit back and wait for it to show up and it doesn't manifest for you. So today I wanted to make a little quick video to highlight some of the reasons why your manifestations might not be showing up. This will help you to get some clarity and to troubleshoot the manifesting process so that you can get back on the manifesting hot track. So be sure to keep watching if you want to know what that is. Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Jen. I am a manifestation and success mindset coach, and my mission here is to help you guys to use my own personal recipe of mindset and manifestation in order to create your best life. Call in the relationship of your dreams, land the dream job, start the business, do whatever you want to do whatever's in your heart. That is what I'm here to help you do. So if that sounds good to you, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. So it actually makes me so sad when people write me letters or send me DMs saying that they tried to manifest something and that it didn't work, and that they no longer think manifesting works and they're giving up entirely. But I just want to tell you guys right now that you are not alone. If you are trying to manifest something and it isn't working, I just really want you to understand first and foremost that the law of attraction is always working. It has nothing to do with whether or not you did something right. So I really want you guys to understand that, because that means the pressure is off of you, because that means that you didn't do something wrong. You are not being punished, and it isn't anything about you in particular that is causing your manifestation wish not to show up, right? This is a law of the universe, which means it is always working, just like the law of gravity is always working. I could teach a class on how to jump up and down, and if somebody was having problems jumping up and down, it wouldn't be because the law of gravity wasn't working, right? So that is just how crazy that sounds to me. So I just want you guys to really understand that concept first before we keep going. The second thing I need you guys to get really clear on when it comes to understanding why your manifestation didn't work out is, really, do you know your why? Okay, it is completely crucial in my way of manifesting and my personal manifestation technique, which is what I teach here on this channel, that you understand the why behind everything you do. Because most of the time, our motivations aren't as nice and sweet and peachy as we'd like them to be. So what do I mean by that? Well, I could show you an example of somebody, let's call her Sally, somebody who is feeling like some of the people at work or in her industry aren't accepting her, and she's feeling, you know, like she just wants to be included. She just wants to feel like she's part of the club. And she looks at all these other girls with their cute little outfits and their Chanel bags, and she thinks, well, if I just had a Chanel bag, then I would fit in and these people would accept me. So she puts a Chanel bag down on her manifestation list and works on manifesting the Chanel bag. But lo and behold, the Chanel bag doesn't show up. So can you see the problem in this scenario? The problem in this scenario is Sally is trying to manifest something from a dark place inside of her. She's trying to fill up this hole inside of her with this external thing. So she's thinking that she's manifesting a bag and that that's just a fun thing to manifest. But what she's really trying to do is to heal the wound inside of her, to heal this feeling of rejection from these people that she admires. And the problem with this scenario, of course, is that she's still trying to fix an inside wound with an external thing. And when I look at people's manifestation problems, this is so often the case. We feel bad about ourselves. We, think that dating this one person is going to heal our lives, and we're going to finally feel good about ourselves if this one person pays attention to us. Or we'll feel finally good about ourselves if we have this car, or our parents will love us more if we have this much money, or whatever it is. We can create all these kinds of crazy stories, but not even really acknowledge those stories to ourselves. So our conscious brain is just well, I just really think I should have this car, or I really think I should date this person, or I really think that I should have this much money. But it isn't really that. If you're honest with yourself, if you're honest with your why, you can very easily see that your why is coming from this place. And I'm not saying this because you cannot manifest from there. You definitely can, but my advice to you, if this is what has tripped you up on manifesting, is to go back and to start to heal the issue. To go back and give yourself the love and attention, acceptance, and all that stuff that you are seeking in the guy, in your parents, in whoever, right? That can only come from you. It doesn't matter what they tell you. It doesn't matter who actually shows up in your life. You can still manifest those things into your life and still feel the same way inside and still be like a donkey on a treadmill trying to chase the carrot. The carrot will remain out of reach because you're going to keep setting new goals for yourself and keep thinking that the next thing is going to work and make you feel better, and it's never going to work. So that is my second thing to watch out for when it comes to manifestation, because it is such an easy trap for us to fall into if we are not completely honest and aware of our own intentions. So reason number 2 you might not be getting your manifestation intention is because you are trying to control other people with your manifesting ideas. So when I see this, when I see people talk about this, the most common thing that I see happening is people trying to manifest a specific person into your life. So I don't want to disappoint you and say that that can never happen, but many times the letters and the comments and the queries that I get from people when they're talking about this, it really isn't sounding like it's in alignment. And the number one problem is that usually people are trying to manifest someone into doing something. Like, you want this cute person to DM you, to call you, to ask you out, or to dump the person they're currently dating and to start dating you instead. So I just want to remind you again that one of the gifts of being human is that you are an autonomous adult and you get complete care of this package, your package, but so does everyone else. So you cannot tell other people how to act in manifesting or not in manifesting. You cannot control what anyone does, nor can you control how anyone feels. So if you're trying to do this with manifesting, which again comes up so often in manifesting love, then you really have to become clear about what it is you really want. So my advice when it comes to this, if you are trying to put all your effort and time and attention into one specific person, is to get really clear about why you're doing that. Like I said back in the first example, sometimes we do this because we think that if this one person loves us, then so will everyone else. And really that is just a sign of a low self-worth issue. So get clear on your why, get clear on what you think this person is going to bring into your life. And my advice in that case would be to figure out how to give that to you so that you're not trying to make this one person come in and fix a problem that has nothing to do with them. But before I get a bunch of angry letters and people being upset about this, I just want to tell you that you can manifest love. Manifesting love is completely possible. It is probably not likely that you are going to be able to manifest a rock star, you know, getting off tour and coming and knocking at your front door. Like, there has to be a portal, there has to be a way for people to find you. So if you're trying to manifest a perfect stranger or a famous person, that's probably not going to happen because there really isn't a channel for things to find you. You have to have a real life connection with people to make a relationship happen, right? The second thing I want to say is that I think it is always so much better not to put all of your energy and attention onto one person, into idealizing this person, into thinking that this is the only person in the whole entire world that will understand you and love you, because that's not true. But to get back to the idea of manifesting love and manifesting someone who is right for you, who is showing up for you, who is aware of you and how awesome you are. That's what you really want to manifest at the end of the day anyway. So change your focus away from trying to control one person to coming back and manifesting what's the best thing for you and the thing that you really want at the end of the day anyways. So just one more time, you cannot manifest other people into doing things. We are all here on our own unique adventure. We are all on our own timeline. You cannot change the timeline, I know, which is really shitty when it comes to relationships sometimes. Sometimes you meet somebody and the timing is just not right. But you know what, you guys? You just have to remember at the end of the day that things are always working out for the best, for your best life. You may not be able to see the whole picture right now, but trust me, they are working out. So do not keep trying to waste your energy on making one person do this one thing for you. Come back and remember what you really want in life and work on manifesting what's actually best for you. Reason number 3, while you might not be manifesting what you want, Maybe it's because you haven't actually taken any action. So again, this is one of those big manifesting myths that I really try to dispel. But as I always say, the law of attraction contains the law of action. So I want you to be really honest with yourself right now and ask yourself, what have you actually done to make your manifestation wish come true? So for example, maybe you want to manifest a new fancy job and you know what company you want to work for, and you know what building, and you know the title, and you know all this stuff, but you are kind of waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for the recruiter to find you on LinkedIn. You're not really putting in any extra effort. You're not working on your resume. You're not making your portfolio all shiny and new. You're not going out and meeting people from that office. You're not doing anything in the real world to facilitate this thing actually happening. You are basically putting all of the work and all of the responsibility onto the universe itself. So this is a process of co-creation, guys. And it isn't just about you sitting and being like, oh, I want that, and oh, I want that, and oh, I want that, and sitting around and waiting. But this is an energetic exchange, right? You are matching your energy to what you want. So does your energy actually show that you really want this? This is such a crucial question. And I think so many people forget to ask this because we've been told that our thoughts become things, but thoughts are just one aspect of your energy. It's also your beliefs, it's your self-worth, it's your subconscious mind, and it's your actions and your words. So what are your actions saying? Are you actually walking the walk? Are you doing the things that you would do? Because if you're not doing the things that you would normally do, in a way, you're making it even more difficult to get what you want, right? Like if you were a normal muggle, as I like to say, and you wanted to get this job and you were trying to get this job, what would be the normal thing you would do? You would work on your resume, you'd maybe spruce up your portfolio, and you would apply, or you would make a lunch meeting with someone in the office, or you would do something in the real world to help get you there. And sometimes I think in the world of manifesting, people think, oh, I don't have to do anything. But why wouldn't you do something? Why wouldn't you show up for yourself? Why wouldn't you show up for your manifestation intention? So this is a real big area where people get stuck. So I would really like you guys to be honest with yourself and look at what you're doing. Are you doing everything you can in the real world, in the physical world? Because that is your job. That is your job to show up for yourself. So make sure you're doing it. Don't cut yourself off and don't shortchange yourself on this wish. There's always something you can do to put this stuff ahead, so don't forget to do your part. So my fourth and final tip for reasons why you might not be manifesting what you want is maybe you just haven't given it enough time yet. So I don't usually like to have deadlines when it comes to manifesting. In fact, I almost never use them. The only time I would ever use a deadline in manifesting is when it comes to money. Other than that, I leave it up to the universe, right? I leave it all up to fate. So this is another problem that I see with people. People are like, oh, but I really want to get this new job, or I want this car, or I want this money, or I want this, or I want that. And they've given themselves a super tight deadline of like a week or a month or something crazy. And it depends on what you're manifesting. So the first thing I want you guys to remember, number one, is time is a human construct, right? In a universal, a spiritual sense, time is all happening at the same time. Everything that has already happened is happening now, and everything in the future that is going to happen is also happening now. So time doesn't really make a difference to the universe itself, right? Time only exists to us. The other thing that happens with time is, again, like I said, people tend to give themselves really tight deadlines. And again, this comes back to the idea in manifesting that all you have to do is think of an intention and wait for it to show up. But what manifesting really is, you guys, it is about you becoming who you need to be. It is about you becoming an energetic match to what you really want. It is about you doing the work and healing your wounds and healing your subconscious and healing your limiting beliefs until you can step through to the other side, break the habit of being you now, and step into who you want to be. So people forget this still, no matter how much I talk about this on this channel, people forget that they need to do the work. And most of the time, you can't really do that much work in like one day or 1 week or 1 month. It takes time and energy and attention to shift these things, especially when it comes to our deep-seated limiting beliefs, to our old childhood programming to all this stuff that can really trip us up and shoot us in the foot. This is the stuff that is the hardest to work with. It is the hardest stuff to get beyond. That's because you spent your entire life so far being this other version of you who believes in these fears, who has this old programming, who has these limiting beliefs, okay? Becoming aware of those things is one step, but you're still gonna keep falling back into those old patterns over and over and over until you get enough practice creating some new patterns. Your brain is a creature of habit, and it's gonna need you to think these bright, shiny new thoughts and to choose these new behaviors and new actions and new words over and over and over again before that becomes your new normal. So in a way, you are programming your mind, and it takes some time. So when people get frustrating and say that their manifesting hasn't worked, what I really want to tell them is, number one, the game isn't over yet. The game only ends when you literally die, you guys. So if you start writing this story like, oh, I tried and I failed, you are writing a story of failure that only exists in your own brain. That is a story that you have created. It does not have to be that story. Instead of that, you could be the person in the middle of the journey. You could be the person who is halfway up the mountain. You're not at the top of the mountain yet, but you're doing the work, you're putting in the effort, and if you keep going forward, you're going to get to the top of the mountain. So don't just quit and say that that's it, that you tried and it's all over. Like, that is, in my opinion, the saddest thing ever, because you have no idea how close you are to getting what you want. But if you give up, you are never going to get there. So please remember that. This journey of life, it is a long one, and we can create and create and create for the whole entire length of it. And if there's a story about giving up, if there's something that's telling you it's over, just please know that that is a voice of fear, that that is a lie, that that is a story that you are trying to create, and you do not have to create it. You can create another story. Give yourself more time. Give yourself the space to learn, to integrate these lessons, because it doesn't happen overnight, you guys. It really takes a lot of work sometimes and a lot of conscious effort, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work. So please don't give up on yourself just before your miracle, okay? The miracles are coming, and the more you expect the miracle to come, the more likely it's going to show up. So thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I really hope this helped clear up some common issues when it comes to manifestation. If you guys liked it, if you got something useful out of it, please do me a favor and give it a like. If you know someone that could use this message, pass it along to them. And if you want to learn more, come on over to my site. I have an amazing free audio training for you guys to download over there. It's called Magical AF, and it is kind of like a private podcast episode for you guys that'll really help you to amp up your energy and to remember just how freaking powerful you really are. So come on over and grab that. It is in my freebie library. Thank you again so much for being here. If you want to continue to hang out with me, you can either hit this button right here to watch the latest upload, or you can hit the subscribe button right here and hang out with me into the future. Again, I'd love to wish you an amazing week of manifesting joy and abundance, and as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.